I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Good. Well, thank you. We have no one registered for public input for items not listed on the agenda, so we'll go ahead and proceed forward to item 3A, which is our presentation of the 5 Quilts of Valor, and also recognition of the mentors with the Denton County Veterans Court Program. And do we have Barbara Angel? Was Barbara here? Good morning, Barbara. Welcome. We're glad to have you. Do you want to go ahead and speak about our Quilts of Valor?
Yes. Thank you all for having us. I'm still pleased we were here in June.
Yes.
And between that and another meeting, we awarded 14 women vets. So we are thrilled. Today we have 5. 4 of them are in the VSO office, and 1 is Judge Forrest Beadle, who's over the vet court program. And we felt it was especially important to honor Judge Beadle since his wife already has her Quilt of Valor. Just saying. So these are exciting opportunities. Today, of the 5 we are awarding, they have a combined total of 64 years of service, more or less, and each one will receive a Quilt of Valor. Quilts of Valor is a 501c3 organization founded 22 years ago by a mother who had a son who had been wounded in Afghanistan. And she realized that a quilt just made him feel better. And if any of you have quilts or have mothers or grandmothers or even younger people who've made quilts, you know, you can feel the love in each quilt. And that's what we feel in the quilts we award today. So without further ado, we will start awarding. Okay, let me get one. Oh, you'll see that. Thank you. Each one of these is individually made by a member of our sewing bee. There are 19 members, and they pick the pattern and we supply the fabric. And then we have individuals who quilt them for us and other members who sew all the binding on. Each one of them has at least 50 hours of work in it. And each one is an individual design. What we're going to do is we're going to hold the quilts up so you can see them, and then we're going to put the quilts around the shoulders, and we're going to wrap them and say, welcome home. I need Mr. Andrews. The skydiver.
Skydiving accidents.
And that's his story, and he's sticking to it. Okay, where would you, what's easiest? Right.
The mentor.
Spencer?
Spencer.
And we'll show this to the Commissioners Court side first.
Really cool.
She's retired. Paul Bastich.
Hey. I got a big quilt.
This quilt was made by Cynthia Miller, who lives in Pilot Point, but sews with us.
That's incredible.
Most of these quilts were done by Kathy Creeder. She's a resident. And she had a quilting business in California, and when they moved out of California, they moved to Rosedale. And she quilts for us. She's done a quilt, and she has a huge machine that does it all. And she has quilted 5 quilts for us
Wow.
this year.
Production.
Other things in the guild too, different programs we have. But she does most of our feminine quilts. They're all different. It's amazing. Okay, guys. Judge Beadle?
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Pointed out the eagle is very frequently people who are in the vet court program, they see every month they see us award quilts. Sometimes they get brave enough, like I look scary, and will come up to me and say, "Can I have a quilt with an eagle?" That is the most popular thing.
Of course.
So I felt that Judge Beadle needed his own eagle.
Thank you.
So you've been looking at these quilts for 5 years. Long time. That's pretty different.
That is beautiful.
I can't tell you what an honor it is for us to be a part of.
However, I'm requesting the hug from you too.
They want to see it.
I'm so looking forward to my hug from Joe.
That is a big quilt.
Yeah, it is.
I'm kicking it. Thank you.
That is, well, you have.
Nope, nope, that's, I'm gonna need it.
Okay. Judge?
Yes. Oh, no, I'll leave it up there in just a second.
Okay. And then last but not least, because I was just doing the random one,
let's get all the, is that all, is that the last one, Barbara? Let's get all the honorees lined up here with your quilts. Let's take a picture like we did last year. I think that'd be a nice shot. Just kind of fold them over, and then we'll just,
Yes, Sam will refold for you if need be. Sam is a Marine, and he very
yes.
frequently attends award ceremonies with me, and he's really good with the vet and with folding the
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's where we need to go.
That's where we'll take our, perfect.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Barbara. At this time, I'd like to have Judge Beadle come up and speak, oh, there he is, and speak about our Veterans Court mentors. We just could not do it without our mentors, and I want him to visit a little bit about that. Go ahead, Judge.
Judge and Commissioners, thank you very much for giving me a moment here to recognize some phenomenal mentors to the Denton County Veterans Treatment Corps program. Now, you always have to be careful when you give the lawyer a mic, so I will be brief, but there are a couple of soapboxes I love to get on. One is my beloved American Legion, and the other one, of course, is Vet Court. But some very brief history to the start of Vet Court. It started in Buffalo, New York, and it actually started by a Vietnam veteran. Judge Russell, who was running a drug court program, had a veteran come in. This was somewhere around 2006 or 7, and he happened to be a veteran. And Jack was the mentor's name. I don't remember his last name, which is unfortunate, but he was there and realized this was a veteran, and he was there to help another friend who was in Judge Russell's drug court. And so he approached the veteran, talked to him briefly, and said, he approached the judge and says, Judge, I think I can help this one. And from that just accidental encounter in a courtroom, they got their heads together and they developed veterans courts. And that spread all across the country and all the way here to little old Denton County under my predecessor, Judge Garcia. Jack was the OG. He was the first mentor for a veterans court program up in Buffalo, New York. And that became a critical part of this program, this treatment court program. And right out of the gate, Judge Garcia and myself, we knew that that was going to be a critical component. One of our first ones, I believe, was a gentleman who could not be here today. His name was Greg Malone. But very quickly, we had others join us. And I would like to take a moment and have the Commissioners Court recognize these mentors, both those who are still serving with the program, those that have served in the past, and unfortunately those, because they have to work for a living, could not be here today. But I have a list of names to read up, and if they're here, if it's okay with the judge, I would like to invite them up here to the well.
Yes, please.
To be recognized.
Yes.
So, if I might come forward into the well, so to speak, and
Yes.
approach. Don't always have to ask that, We're going to start with our current mentor coordinator. Raymond Holder is not a veteran. His son is. And that's how this process got started, if I remember the story correctly, Raymond. His son came back from Iraq, had some horrific experiences in country, and he and his wife and his family had to deal with that. Successfully, I might add, with a critical component to veterans courts, and that's the VA. The VA gets a lot of grief sometimes, understandably so, but nevertheless, the people that are in the VA help out wonderfully. And through family's love, Raymond's love, his wife's love, and some help from the VA, his son is doing fine. But that's how Raymond kind of found his way into this situation. So when I mentor under my predecessor, Judge Garcia, and also what he's been doing with the Denton County Veterans Coalition. So Raymond, if you come up here, please. Looking for the Normans. Will Norman and Anna Norman, current mentors here with the program. And I tell you what, if we have a hard child, they get one of the Normans. And usually it's Anna, okay, who deals with some of the hard cases. Casey Brown was going to be here, but he could not be here today. This morning he called and had to cancel at the last moment. We have Mike Williamson. Mike, come on up here. We have Mr. Gil Brown. Mr. Gil Brown is currently no longer active with the mentor program, but he was active for I forget how many years. And back in the day, that's who Judge Garcia sent the hard cases through. Sharon Bosley, come on up. Sharon Bosley, again, not active with the program currently, but put in a number of years with the program, and she was actually one of the gals that we sent the female veterans to that needed a sister. And Sharon did a wonderful job helping out. And I will tell you this, without getting into names or details, there's been a couple of veterans that I've called after she left the program and said she's back, she needs some help. And Sharon immediately reached out and helped them. And so that she did that completely on her own, unassociated with the program, just because she cares about fellow veterans. Lieutenant Colonel Ginger Simonson, please come up. Colonel Simonson was the former coordinator under Judge Garcia with the program, recruited a lot of the mentors under that program and those that continue past this, and just like Sharon, was always there to help out, especially female veterans, but any veteran, quite frankly, and still, of course, does that outside of the court program, but we want to recognize her as well, too. And finally, as far as those here, Belle Small. Belle Small, another one of those phenomenal veterans, also the current mother of two veterans, not veterans, but still serving active duty, her two daughters. But Belle Small helped out Raymond in the early days of my court program, and of course was active under Garcia as well too, and of course has done phenomenal work with the program over the years. One of the most integral parts of the Veterans Court program, though, is not only the mentorship they provide outside of court, but also their peer-to-peer meetings that they conduct. And fortunately, we found a home for them to conduct that over at the Legion Hall at Post 71. But those peer-to-peer meetings do phenomenal work and allows the veterans to get together outside of court and discuss things. And I think just about everyone up here at some point has participated in that process. But these are the veterans here, and I do have a quick list of folks that could not attend, but I do want to recognize them by name. One of our go-to guys, Herb Carter, could not be here. Paul Flanagan, another go-to guy. And finally, Aaron Evans. Not finally, but Aaron Evans, another one of our go-to guys. We have Dan Ottinger, Mark Roy, many of you know Mark Roy, Rob Marinan, Jeff Cook, Heather Ball, and Jill Evans. Now, did I miss anybody that's here? I did. Come on up. David, come on up. David slipped in. He actually thought we were going to my courtroom, so he went over to that courthouse. We did this list up, Judge Eads, last week, and we knew we'd miss a couple, but did I miss any other mentors? All right. Well, listen, on behalf of myself, my court staff, the entire criminal justice system here in Denton County, I will speak for all of them on this point. We cannot thank y'all enough for your service, and it's all volunteer because we pay them the grand total of $0. So thank y'all very much for your service.
Well, thank you. On behalf of the...
How are you?
We're going to take we'll take a group picture in just a second. I want to, on behalf of the court, want to tell everybody that's here involved in this program, thank you. Thank you for your service to the country, answering the call to public service, and it's whichever branch you served our country so nobly in. And thank you for continuing that spirit of community service and service to country by helping your fellow veterans. I mean, that the fact that you continue to answer that call to public service is admirable. It's inspiring. And Judge, I want to thank you for being so instrumental in this program. But we couldn't do it without the volunteers. You know, we couldn't do it without the volunteers here. And the fact that this is a program that combines justice through the criminal justice system plus married with second chances. And so I think it's a great combination. It really is, you are an example of Denton County residents helping Denton County residents. And so we thank you for all the on behalf of all the people who've gone through the program and the residents and their families. I just want to say thank you all for being part of that process where people go through redemption process. And I think that that's very important. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. We're going to do a group picture down here.
Oh, yay, let's talk. Know how to help with that. Yeah.
Thanks, Judge.
I know.
I'm going to do one other. I'll let them leave, and I'm going to have Judge Beadle go next. So get his item. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and do 13A, which is approval of a request to submit a grant application for the fiscal year 2025 Texas Veterans Commission Fund for Veterans Assistant Grant. This is a Veterans Treatment Court, amount of $330,000. Any appropriate action? Go ahead, Judge Beadle. I know you're here.
All right, thank you very much. Again, of course, it's grant time for Vet Court. We did receive the governor's grant this year, which will cover some of our needs. Unfortunately, we did not get the SAMHSA grant this year that we applied for. I think I was sometime back in the spring when I came to ask y'all to approve that. The main difference was without getting political, back in 2018, $1 billion was dumped into that budget to handle the drug crisis and the substance abuse crisis. This year, SAMHSA only had $70 million to spread across the country. And so we knew it would be a tough road to go, but we made the attempt. Unfortunately, we did not get it. We have not heard why yet, so that door is coming open again here pretty soon, and so we'll apply again probably for SAMHSA next year. But in the meantime, we're going to reapply for the Texas Veterans Commission grant, which the court program did have sometime back in 2016, 2017 timeframe, and we are asking for $330,000. Most of that will go to monitoring and also substance abuse counseling. We are asking to fund the part-time, or actually in this case, the full-time case manager position that was previously funded under SAMHSA. And so we would ask the commissioners to please approve that request so we can request that grant from the Texas Veterans Commission. In the meantime, we do have the governor's grant, and we also did get your approval to apply for and received a partial grant from All Rise, which is the National Drug Court Seminar Bunch, for about just under $70,000. That one has been a very good Band-Aid because it allows us to pay for substance abuse and also cover the expenses of Ms. Kathy Champ, who is my court clinician. She's the smart person in the room that knows what she's doing when it comes to substance abuse and trauma counseling. And so she tells me what her thoughts are and also does a number of our evaluations. But we would ask the commissioners to approve our request to apply for that grant from the Texas Veterans Commission. And I will answer any questions that the court might have.
Any questions? Hearing none, the chair move for approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you,
Judge.
Thanks, Judge.
Appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Let's just go to item two, which is our consent agenda. Members, are there any items you'd like to pull from the consent agenda, or do we have a motion to approve as presented?
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Our consent agenda today consists of item 2A, approval of the order making appointments and any appropriate action. Item 2B is approval of miscellaneous equipment and software services, and item 2C is approval of payroll. Let's go to item 5A, which is approval of the bill report payments from CSCD, Community Corrections, TAIP, Sheriff's Training, Sheriff's Forfeiture, VIT interest, and TA forfeiture funds are presented for recording purposes only. Mr. May.
Thank you, Judge. I have several additions today. The first one is to Voyager for $17,039.82. And I have 5 bills to pay to Citibank, and they all total $670,649.83. And then I have one more to U.S. Bank for $500 even.
Perfect, good, all right. Do we have a motion for approval as amended? Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6A, approval of addition of 1 vehicle to Elections Administration. Current fleet is recommended by the Vehicle Assessment Committee.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6B, approval of a vehicle transfer of addition of to the current fleet of a 2016 Ford F-150 pickup, FP 16502, from Public Facilities to County Administration as recommended by the Vehicle Assessment Committee.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6C, approval of the termination of a 60-month lease for county administration and the cooperative purchase of a 2023 Chevrolet Suburban CS23503 with D&M Leasing through the Buy Board Cooperative Contract 65221 as recommended by the Vehicle Assessment Committee.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6D, approval of renewal of the CrowdStrike Incident Response IR retainer from Solid Border Incorporated in the amount of $67,655 through the Texas Department of Information Resources DIR Cooperative Contract DIR CPO 4850. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6E, approval of professional engineering services and solutions agreement from Parsons IP Keys Cyber Partners, the amount of $88,870 through the General Services Administration GSA Cooperative Contract 47QRAA19D000A. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 7A, approval of budget amendment request 100250 for Constable Precinct 3 to transfer $1,640 from ammunition taser supplies to capital equipment to cover the cost of an Axon fleet bundle and any appropriate action. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 7B, approval of budget amendment request 100260 for the Public Health Department Environmental Division to transfer $5,487 from capital equipment to administrative equipment to fund a previously approved plotter to be purchased at a lower cost and no longer with capital equipment guidelines.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7C, approval of budget amendment request 100270 to transfer $66,500 from county vehicles unappropriate contingency to vehicle lease to cover the payoff of Suburban CS 23503 as recommended by the Vehicle Assessment Committee.
Move to
I
approve.
have a motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion?
Yeah, real quick, Judge, just want to make sure everybody understands what we're doing there. Basically, to take it off the lease, for us to turn around and sell it, we have to purchase it from the leasing company, so that's what's being done, to turn around and market it to sell it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you,
All
Judge.
right, thank you. Any discussion? Other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7D, approval of budget amendment request 100280 for public health to increase revenues and allocate expenditures for the fiscal year 2025 Health Disparities Grant in the amount of $141,667. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 8A, report from Human Resource regarding hiring actions of elected officials. This is presented for recording purposes only. Mr. Hernandez.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning. We have one new hire in the county clerk, one new hire in the district attorney's office, two new hires and one promotion in the district clerk, one new hire in Justice of the Peace Precinct 2, one promotion in Justice of the Peace Precinct 5, one new hire in juvenile probation, and 4 new hires in the sheriff's office, all of them detention officer 1.
Perfect, thank you. Next is item 9A, approval of amendment number 4 to the Department of State Health Services, the DSHS Health Disparities Grant Contract. This is number HHS 001057600017. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 10A, approval of the Hernandez Addition Final Plat Lot 1, Block A. This is 2.63 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 1.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 10B, approval of the Morgan Estates final plat. This is lots 1 and 2, Block A. This is 2.62 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 1.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 12A, approval of the 2024 through the 2034 lease agreement between the City of Roanoke, Texas and Denton County, Texas for the use of land for replacement occupancy of a radio tower and any appropriate action. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's go to 13B. 13B is approval of the Commissioners Court casting its allotment of votes for the Denton Central Appraisal District Board of Directors. And we will do this after executive session today, but I do want to call on Mr. Mike Hennifer, who's registered a public comment form. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Honorable Court and Judge. Grateful to stand before you. I hate to slow down the whirlwind that just took place. The business that takes place here is marvelous. Some of the greatest things and hardest things and most wonderful things take place right here in this court, and I'm grateful to be able to stand here before you. I'm here because I want to express my gratitude to you and to thank you for your nomination of me to be on the Board of Directors. So thank you. I also am here to seek your votes. I desperately want to be on this board. I want to serve. I think I'm qualified to serve. And I would plead for whatever votes you deem. Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Thank you, Mike. Let's just go to item 14A, approval of the contract for engineering services supplemental agreement number 7 to the original contract for engineering services between Denton County, Texas and Jacobs Engineering Group Incorporated for the US 377 project from FM 1830 to State Highway 170. The project in the amount, in the additional amount of $146,928 for a total revised contract amount of $10,164,772, with funding in the amount of $146,928 to come from the judge discretionary, Trip 22, order line item 89743799060, and to be transferred to the US 377, order line item 89740999060, and any appropriate action. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, the chair will second. Any discussion? Well, I'm glad we're getting this one done. We've been working on this a long time. So we have a motion and a second. Any other comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously. I'm trying not to sneeze. I'm holding the, okay.
Well, that's just.
14B, approval of the interlocal agreement between the North Central Texas Council of Governments and Denton County, Texas for the participation in the Near Map Recurring Aerial Photography and Obliques subscription service, with funding in the amount of $86,500 to come from order line item 0153001055 as recommended by Kevin Carr, Chief Information Officer.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer. Second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14C, approval of disaster debris monitoring service agreement, RFP 242823, between Denton County, Texas and Tetra Pak Incorporated as primary contractor and Thompson Consulting Services LLC as secondary contractor, as recommended by the Denton County Purchasing Director. And any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner, was it Mitchell? It's by Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14D, approve the cooperative purchasing agreement between Denton County, Texas and Williamson County, Texas.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14E, approval of one to purchase and sell agreement between the Crow Billingsley Plano Parkway Limited, a Texas Limited Partnership as seller, and Denton County, Texas as purchaser for the purchase of real property described as approximately 164.913 acres situated in the J. Air Survey Abstract 2, Denton County, Texas, the property for the purchase price of $17,959,025.70 plus all applicable closing costs, including title, insurance, policy, and boundary survey, with real estate commission paid by seller to Newland Real Estate Incorporated, grant authorization to proceed with closing and approval of the Denton County Judge to sign all necessary closing documents. Number 3, grant authorization for the Denton County Auditor and the Denton County Treasurer as applicable to pay earnest money in the amount of $100,000 for Public Title of Texas Incorporated within 14 days of effective date of the contract. And 5, with funding to come from the American Rescue Plan. Ask the chair, move for approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Let's go down to number 17, which is community updates. This is updates from, local updates from Commissioners Court members. We'll start with Commissioner Precinct 1.
Thank you, Judge. I just want to thank everyone that came out to our Outer Loop project meetings. It was a huge success. We got a lot of great feedback again, and had some really good discussions with some citizens. So I want to thank our consulting firm and team. They did a wonderful job as always, and things continue to move forward in a great positive direction. So thank you for that. That's all I have, Judge.
Perfect. Commissioner Falconer?
Thank you, Judge. Well, if you somehow missed it, today's election day. I want to remind you.
I heard.
If you haven't done that, get out there and vote. But we also have Veterans Day coming up on Monday, and as we've seen so many of our veterans, it's a great time to honor our veterans. And as part of that, we've got a lot of things happening in Precinct 2. The Colony has their annual American Heroes Festival, and it'll be on the 9th all day at the 5-Star Complex. That's a great event, so come down and take part in that. In Little Elm, there's the 3rd annual Veterans Honor Walk. That's also on the 9th from 11 a.m. to noon. That's at Brent Elementary School. And then in Crossroads, we have the Crossroads Summer Market on the 9th. It's a busy day, 9 to 2 at Crossroads Park. And then the Boss Ladies Community Garage Sale on the 10th from 8:30 to 10:30, and that's also at Crossroads Park. And then in Corinth, we have We have the Boots and Brews on the 9th from 3 to 9. That's at the Commons at the Agora. And then in Carrollton, lots of events coming up. We have the Wellness and Nature Walks. That's at that's on the 6th at the Senior Center. And then adaptive archery classes. That's at the Rec Center on the 7th. Actually, it's several days, 7th through the 21st, at the Rec Center. CPR and AED training at the Fire Administration Building in downtown. That's at 6 o'clock on the 7th. Sounds on the Square on the 8th from 5 to 7. That's in the downtown square also. Rec Night Out at the Crosby Rec Center, and that's on the 8th from 5 to 8. And then a Colorful Dream Exhibit first day on the 10th at 1 o'clock at the Josie Ranch Library. And finally, the big Veterans Day celebration on the 11th from 11 to 1, and that's at the Senior Center. It's always a great event. Come to the Senior Center. Even if you're not a senior, come, and it's a great time to recognize our veterans.
Perfect, great updates. Commissioner Mitchell.
In Corinth, we have the Lake City Education Foundation on November the 6th. In Flower Mound, we have Dorothy Dash on November the 9th, 7 to 9 a.m. at Bakersfield Park. On the 11th, we have the annual Veterans Day Relay Run, also in Flower Mound, from 9 to 2. In Holland Village, we have the Salute Our Veterans. This is a luncheon that's been going on for quite a while. It's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn in Louisville, 11 to 1. We also have in Holland Village the Tri-Town Amazing Race, November the 16th at Doubletree Ranch, 8 to 12:30. Lake Dallas, we have a community cleanup, November the 9th, 9 to 10. Louisville, we have Roots for Wing Expo, November the 14th, 6 p.m., 8:30 p.m. at the Thrive. And we have November the 16th at Saturday at the Homestead in Louisville at Layla. And then we have at Flower Mound, Friendsgiving on, I'm sorry, my dates is running together. Just a moment, let me get that date. On the 7th is when it is, in Flower Mound, in Legion's Title. That's all I have.
It's always a fun time. Okay, Commissioner Edmondson.
Since we have Veterans Day coming up, I'm going to concentrate on our events for veterans instead of naming everything that we got going on. The first one is going to be in Argyle, and that's on the 13th. It's the Lions Club Veterans Dinner from 6 to 8. It's going to be in the Argyle Town Hall. And then Denton, we're going to have on the square, we're going to have the Veterans Day celebration on Monday. I believe it's at 10 o'clock. Paul isn't here right now, but I believe it's at 10 o'clock.
It's 11.
11 o'clock.
11,
If you
11,
come
11.
at 10, you'll get a better seat. But that's okay. It's going to be a wonderful celebration. It always is. It's going to be by the All War Memorial. And then I wanted to mention that at Robeson Ranch, they celebrate Veterans Day all day. They begin with a 9 o'clock ceremony, and they're going to be honoring one of their veterans out there, and there are a lot of them. They'll have a quilt of valor for a special veteran there at Robeson. From there, they go into an all-day silent auction, which benefits the Support Our Troops organizations there at Robeson. And they have wonderful choir concert at 11 in the morning and then again at 7 that evening. I go to that, and I just always so uplifted because they always have the marches for each of the military branches. And there's so many veterans out at Robeson when they play those marches and the people stand up from that branch. It just gives you goosebumps. And so you're all invited to come. The choir concerts are free to those who live in Robeson. However, it's $15 if anybody else would like to go. I know that in South Lake, they're going to have a community event to honor veterans there at their South Lake Town Hall. And then Trophy Club has a special Veterans Day celebration at the Indy Park West, and they intend to honor all of their veterans. So to all of the veterans here and that will be honored, please let us thank you officially for your service. Without what you have done, we would not be here today. And lastly, I'd like to echo Commissioner Faulconer. If you haven't voted yet, and I can't imagine there's anybody yet who hasn't, but if you haven't, today is the day to vote. Please know that you have to go to a special assigned polling place for your voter precinct today. That's a part of voter integrity and election integrity that we have in Denton County. If you don't know where that is, go to votedenton.gov, put in your name, phone number, birth date, and they will tell you where you need to vote today if you haven't done so. Polls are open now. They'll be closing at 7 o'clock. And so any of you who have not yet voted, it's not just a privilege, it's a responsibility of citizenship. So please go vote. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, I want to commend the Denton County electorate. We have right at 58% of eligible voters have already voted early, so that's great. So I'm very, very pleased about that. Yes, so go to votedenton.gov if you're looking for your polling place for today. And they are, again, open till 7 p.m. And again, I just want to echo the announcements that we're going to celebrate our veterans on the square on Monday, November the 11th at 11 a.m. So get there early. And that's a great combination. It's a partnership, that ceremony between the Texas Women's University, Denton County Veteran Service Office, those guys who were here earlier this morning, and the University of North Texas. And I want to remind everybody that Monday is a county holiday. Okay, so let's go to...
Judge, we have no court on Tuesday.
We have no court. So let's go to our executive session. A few items for executive session. Item 15A is Texas Government Code 551072, deliberation regarding real property. Closed meeting, deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. If deliberation in open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the governmental body in negotiations with a third person. Item 15B, Texas Government Code 5510745A1, personnel matters affecting the county advisory body. Closed meeting, deliberate the appointment of a member of an advisory body with the Denton County Commissioners Court, nominees to appoint for appointment to the Denton County Central Appraisal District Board of Directors. 15C, Texas Government Code 5510745A1, personnel matters affecting the county advisory body. Closed meeting, deliberate the appointment of a member of an advisory body to with the Denton County Transportation Authority Board of Directors. 15D, Texas Government Code 5510744A1, personal matters affecting the county advisory body. Closed meeting, deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a member of an advisory body to with the Child Protective Services Board. And 16A, Texas Government Code 5510711AB, consultation with the attorney. A closed meeting when a governmental body seeks the advice of its attorney about contemplated litigation or a settlement offer regarding Encore electric delivery and any appropriate action. All right, and it is 9:56. We're in executive session.